Welcome. Thank you for joining. Share the video in your platform as you're joining. Share in your WhatsApp group. Share to family and friends. Give a thumbs up to the video before we start. Share in your platform, share in your WhatsApp group, share any place you belong. We are starting very soon. Just as we have been doing, setting the record straight. Thank you for joining wherever you're joining from across the world. Thank you for joining. Please share the video on your platform. Share the video on your WhatsApp group. Share it on your family group. Any place you belong, and give a thumbs up to the video. Give a thumbs up to the video so that others can join us. Let's preach this message. Let's send out the information to the world. Let them hear our voice, as we have always done. Welcome. Give a thumbs up so that others can join us. Give a thumbs up and share on your platform. That is the way we can be able to reach others. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Fear not. Don't be afraid. We shall overcome. We are starting in a few minutes. Give a thumbs up to the video. As we are preparing to start, give a thumbs up to the video. Please kindly give a thumbs up to the video as you're watching. Click the thumbs up. You're welcome. Thank you for joining. We are starting in a few seconds, a few minutes. Welcome. Thank you so much for joining, wherever you are joining from across the world. If you are joining me from Biafra land, I appreciate you so much and I thank you very much for your contributions to the channel. If you're joining me from any part of Europe, I appreciate you. You're joining from Asia, you're joining from America, from Australia, from Canada, from New Zealand. Wherever you are joining this broadcast, I say may Chukwu Okike Abiama continue to guide and protect you. Thank you so much for your support, my beloved sister Linda TV show. I appreciate you for all your support. And I say may Chukwu Okike Abiama continue to strengthen you, guide you, and protect you. Thank you for coming. Today we are back again, doing what we need to do, doing what we are supposed to do, doing what we have signed by ourselves to do. I have taken it upon myself as my own responsibility to encourage my fellow Biafrans, continue to encourage my fellow Biafrans on how to continue to pursue our freedom, on things to do, on how we will continue to stay fast until Biafra comes. That is why I'm here. And I will continue to do so. Much more importantly, that we have to be speaking out so that the conventional media will not continue to change the narrative. They have been doing this issue, trying to change the narrative. Each time they change the narrative, we will not allow them. You're welcome. Benedict Andy. Thank you so much for joining, Andy. We will make sure that they never change the narrative. They cannot, no matter how they try. We are not preaching hate speech. We are not attacking anybody. We are not focusing on anybody. We are focusing on our freedom. We are not hating anybody. We don't preach hate. We preach love. We preach freedom. That is what I do on this channel. And if you have been my follower and you've been watching my videos, you can see that I don't come here to attack people. Neither do I come here to preach against people or talk against people or bring it to push propaganda. I come here to preach the message of freedom. Freedom for the Biafran people, for the Ududua people, for the Middle Belt, and for any other indigenous tribe. As long as you are sincerely pursuing that freedom, I am with you and I will support you. For the freedom of Biafra, I am 101% in support of the freedom of Biafra, and I'm standing with Nnamdi Kanu. I am standing with Nnamdi Kanu for better, for worse. I am standing with Nnamdi Kanu. Whatever Nnamdi Kanu support is what I'm following. Whatever he has preached, any message he has sent is what I'm carrying. I'm carrying the message of Nnamdi Kanu, the gospel of peace, gospel of freedom, gospel of peace, freedom and unity. That is the message I carry. And if you are from the old southeastern region, always have it at the back of your mind that Nnamdi Kanu is our leader. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is our leader. When it comes to the issue of Biafra struggle, it doesn't matter whom you are, it doesn't matter your religion, it doesn't matter your tribe, it doesn't matter your location. When it comes to Biafra struggle, the only leader we have is Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is the supreme leader of the struggle. You can hate him, you can like him, you can antagonize him, you can do anything. You can't change it. You cannot change it. He didn't make himself who he is today. He didn't make himself who he is. It was Chukwu Okike that appointed him and gave him the mantle to pursue freedom for his people, to make sure that Biafra is being restored. And Mazi Nnamdi Kanu took up that call. When Mazi Nnamdi Kanu answered that call, up to today, he is pursuing that cause to see that Biafra comes. No man born of a woman can stop him. Everything have been offered unto him. All manner of bribery have been offered unto him. All manner of distraction have been brought to him. But he is not distracted. He is not distracted. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is fighting for the freedom of the Biafran people. He is fighting for the freedom of the Biafran people head on. And he's not stopping. He's not stopping. No matter how people try to stop him, no matter what people try to do, no matter how they try to tempt him, they cannot get him. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu have proven himself to be legitimate and be genuine. That is why every one of us is following Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Go to every platform. Every platform you see that are talking for freedom of Biafra, they are only mentioning the name of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Where you see that the name of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is not mentioned, you think again. Even though some people are mentioning Mazi Nnamdi Kanu for their evil agenda, they are using Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's name to promote their channel, to promote whatever they're saying. But at the back of their mind, they do not believe in his message. How do you know such people? If you are preaching Biafra, if you are preaching the struggle, and you are not in support of the civil disobedient to actualize Biafra, it means you don't know what you're doing. You don't mean well for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Neither are you a follower of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. We know that civil disobedience is one of the legacies that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu have left behind for us. Civil disobedience, in case you forgot, is one of the legacies of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. He introduced the sit at home. Sit at home was gotten by Mazi Nnamdi Kanu in a furnace of prayer. He didn't just wake up one day and begin to talk about it. Remember, before the sit at home was introduced, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, every time in Biafra land, was encouraging protests. Biafran people were protesting. IPOB members were protesting, and each time they protest, they were being shot at. Many IPOB members lost their life in the process of protest. Many Biafrans lost their life. Many Biafrans lost their life because they were protesting for Biafra. So many people lost their life. But when Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was accused on various faces, on different occasions, people were accusing Mazi Nnamdi Kanu of being responsible for the death that is happening in Biafra land. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu went down on his knees and prayed, and Chukwu Okike gave him the seat at home. Told him to embark on the seat at home. And Mazi Nnamdi Kanu brought that civil disobedience to sit at home. And since we began to introduce that sit at home, the death in Biafra land reduced. The risk of losing Biafrans, all in the name of protest, reduced. And we have been holding that sit at home. Holding civil disobedience. It has been working wonders, working miracle. It has been working marvelously well. You can deny it. You can stay away from it. You can say any other thing about it. But it is absolute truth. The truth and nothing but the truth. That it works. It is working. And even today, that is the only thing that is working. Why will anybody, sensible person, walk away from something that is working and begin to look other ways on things that he or she knows that will never work? Every one of us have seen when we were shouting that the political solution is not going to work, when we are telling people not to listen to any political solution, not to stop what you are doing because of political solution. We were saying, I was saying it on my channel, that I'm not saying that those who want to go political solution should stop. Since they believe that is the way forward, they should continue to do it. But those of us, the ordinary people, that we have to continue to embark on our civil disobedience, which is sit at home that we are holding, that we should hold that civil disobedience. We should not drop what we are doing because the promise of the politicians. I preach it, that we should not stop what we are doing. We should continue to embark on our civil disobedience until we get a result. That we should not believe the promise of the politicians. But some of us, when we are preaching, they thought we are talking rubbish. Some of us call us troublemakers. Some of us say that we are distracting people. But today, you have seen that the civil disobedience, the political solution has become the greatest deception ever. The political solution have become the greatest deception ever. They use that very political solution to distract IPOB. They use that very political solution to distract and water down what was happening. Remember, they introduced that very language when the intensity of the sit-at-home was going higher. When the sit-at-home was going higher, when the civil disobedience was increasing, they were so scared, and they introduced that very political solution. And some people, ignorantly, they bought into that very political solution. Some people decided to water down what we are doing. They decided to calm down the Biafran people from what they were doing. Today, where is the political solution? Political solution is dead and buried. Even those who went to Abuja to seek for that political solution today, they are confessing by themselves that it has not yielded any fruit. They have written so many letters. There is no reply from Asorok. There is no reply whatsoever. When it comes to the issue of Biafra, political solution has no place. If at all it will work, the only time it will have a place is when Biafran people by themselves begin to do what they are supposed to do. It is not an individual, not the Ohanes Ndibo, not the elders, not the politicians, not the governors that will go and bring political solution for us. It is we, the ordinary people, that we activate it. And when we activate it, the Janjaweed themselves will call us for political solution. We will not beg them for it. We will not beg them for it. I have been saying it. We will not beg. Mazen Nnamdi himself said it, that we are not beggars. Mazen Nnamdi said he doesn't beg people for anything. He doesn't beg. He doesn't beg. He will tell you the right thing to do. If you refuse to do it, he will take it the way he is going to take it. But our so-called elders, they have decided to follow a path of begging. Where have the begging led us? The begging, where has it led us? The begging have not had any result. Up to today, there is no result from that begging. There is no result. All we see now is backward. You see them confessing. It is now clearer than ever. They brought that political solution language to deceive them. Even they were deceived, promising them the Igbo presidency. They were promising them the Igbo presidency. People who claim to be smart, who claim to know everything, who claim to be smart, we are deceived because of Igbo presidency, because of their selfish interest, because of their selfish desire. They could not read between the line. They could not read between the line. Who is going to give you the Igbo presidency? Who? Is it Buhari, who was placed in the position by Tinubu? Did you think that Buhari will ignore Tinubu, knowing how much Tinubu spent on him? You think Buhari will ignore Tinubu, then carry the Igbo presidency and give Igbo presidency? Today, APC have zoned their presidency, and they never even remember the southeast. It is southwest and northwest. That is where APC have zoned their presidency. So today it is much more clearer to them. All those of them who are gallivanting, hoping that they are going to give them the so-called Igbo presidency. Have you seen it? Even when we were shouting at that very point in time, we do not want anything that has to do with Igbo presidency. What we want is our freedom. We need Biafra. Biafra is our target. That is what we want. We don't want Igbo presidency because we know, even before now, we know that there is never a time the contraption called Nigeria can work. Go to heaven and bring a Messiah from heaven and make him a president of Nigeria. Nigeria will be worse than it is today. Go to heaven and bring an angel. Make that angel the president of Nigeria. Nigeria will be worse than it is today. Because people of different agenda will march together. People who have nothing in common. People who, the kind of hate that you have in that country called Nigeria is unimaginable. The only way you can address the hatred you have in Nigeria is by disintegration. When you disintegrate the country, every man will go to his own territory. People will begin to think inward on how to develop themselves and protect themselves and improve themselves. As long as you continue to leave people to be together, that hatred will continue to increase. A Northerner can never be in love with a Biafran. A Northerner will never ever be in love with a Biafran. Go and look at their brokers. Look at them. When you see them talking, even in the House of Assembly, when a matter comes up, if it has to do with the Biafra, the way they address it, the anger, the hatred in the tone when they address it, you'll be wondering. You'll be wondering what brought these two people together. What are we fighting for? We knew from the onset that they will never ever allow anybody to handle whatever they call Igbo presidency. You're welcome, KC. Thank you so much for joining. Share the video and give a thumbs up. You're welcome. We knew from the onset, but some of them who claim to be educated, some who claim to be wise, they call themselves elite. They could not read between the lines. They could not be, and why they could not read between the lines is because of their selfish interest, because of their wickedness. They don't mind if they can be able to have their presidency on the blood of the innocent. That was what happened. They didn't bother if they would be a governor on the blood of the innocent. Look at what is happening in Biafra land. Look at the kind of thing that is happening in Biafra land. We see the videos every day online. Some of the videos I can't share it here. The way they are destroying properties in Biafra land, burning houses, taking life of innocent people in Biafra land. Have you seen any politician complain about that? Have you seen any of these politicians talking about that? Any of the elite, have you seen them talking about that? Instead, you see them, what they are complaining about sit at home. They complain about sit at home, but they know what is causing the sit at home. They know the cause of the sit at home. They know the actual cause of the sit at home. Why are they not addressing that cause, the root cause of the sit at home? We are not asking for much. The only thing we are asking for is let Mazen Nnamdi Kanu go. We are asking for our freedom. Free Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. That's what we ask. It is the kidnap of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu from Kenya. Kidnap of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu from Kenya to Nigeria is what is causing the sit at home. The torture of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu in DSS is what is causing the sit at home. Including the insecurity they're talking about. It is the torture of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, the kidnap of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu of Kenya. That is what is causing the insecurity in the southeast. Why is it too hard for them to understand? Why is it too hard for them to understand? These people who will come on their platform, you saw the traditional rulers and the so-called religious leaders. Traditional rulers and religious are coming out to issue statements that sit at home should be stopped. You are so bold to come out in group and issue a statement. Why don't you come out in group in bold like that and demand that the military should leave Biafra land? Why is it so difficult? The way you came out to issue a statement with all of you putting your signatures down that the issue of sit at home should stop. You don't want it anymore. Why don't you come in the same manner and demand that the military should stop taking the life of the innocent in Biafra land? Why don't you come out and demand that Mazen Nnamdi Kanu must be freed? Why is it so difficult? You are so scared of the truth. So scared of the truth that you cannot look Janjaweed in their face and tell them the truth. You cannot look Janjaweed in their face and tell them the truth. But all you do, each time you come out, all you do is to continue to peddle lies. You hide under your own selfish interest, hide under your own wickedness, and you begin to propagate and project an agenda that you know that is not going to serve anybody any good. An agenda that will not do anybody any good. That is what you promote. Why is it so difficult for you to know why people are sitting at home? There is nobody in Biafra land, nobody in that country from called Nigeria that will say that he or she doesn't know why people are sitting at home. The Biafran people are sitting at home. For the foreigners who are not Nigerians who will watch this video, foreigners who are watching, the reason why the Biafran people are sitting at home every Monday and Sunday is because an innocent Biafran was kidnapped from Kenya. An innocent Biafran, a Biafran and a British citizen, was kidnapped from Kenya. He did not commit any crime. He entered Kenya legally. He was stamped in his passport to Kenya. With British passport, he was kidnapped in Kenya. Tortured for good 8 days. After torturing him, he was sent to Nigeria through extraordinary detention against international law. A war crime was committed against Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. And today, they are still holding that same man in their DSS, torturing him. As you're watching this video, Mazen Nnamdi Kanu is still going through emotional torture. As you are watching this video, our Supreme Leader Mazen Nnamdi Kanu is still going through emotional torture. Nobody is talking about it. The Biafran people are raging, they are outraged, and they are crying and shouting. That is why they are sitting at home every Monday to let the world know that an innocent man is being held captive. They are asking for his unconditional release, immediate release. That is why Biafrans are sitting at home. There's no other reason. That is why we are sitting at home. a legitimate way of requesting for the release of Nnamdi Kanu. We are not violent. We were not shooting anybody. We are not even protesting outside. We sit at home to let the world know that we do not approve the kidnap of Nnamdi Kanu, the killing of Biafran people. We don't approve it. That is why we are sitting at home. And when we are sitting at home, the so-called elite, the politicians and the Ndibo, they decide and gang up and provided their so-called unknown gunmen in order to demonize the sit at home. Sit at home was not to enforce anybody. Sit at home was the thing that we did willingly. Every Biafran on their own came out willingly to protest. Every Biafrans willingly on their own decided that we will sit at home until our Supreme Nnamdi Kanu is released unconditionally. What did they do? They formed their unknown government, begin to demonize the sit at home. They will go and take the life of people, and they'll be claiming that it's ESN that is working in the bushes. ESN that is responsible for taking care of the people in the bushes, securing our land, chasing away the terrorists. They will begin to blame ESN when they know fully well that our Supreme Nnamdi Kanu have said it time and time again that ESN do not have any business in the cities. They tried to demonize ESN. They could not succeed. They could not say, instead, ESN was waxing stronger. They waxed stronger. They chased the Fulanis away from our land. They didn't stop there. Now, today, the caliphate gave them the idea of Igbo presidency. They brought it. We didn't buy it because we had done what we want. What we want, what every single Biafran want is what? Freedom. We want Biafra. We don't want Igbo presidency. We don't want Igbo presidency. Because Igbo presidency is another kind of slavery. Igbo presidency is another type of slavery. The worst kind of slavery. That is what you see. You want to get Igbo presidency. It was Obasanjo, when Obasanjo was a president, that was when Obasanjo destroyed OPC. Obasanjo killed his own people because of this so-called contract called Nigeria. Obasanjo maimed his own people, OPC. They were not terrorists. They were not terrorists because they were airing their own opinion, protecting their land. That is their duty. Obasanjo killed members of OPC. He didn't stop there. He went to Udi, same southern part of Nigeria, and destroyed and took lives in order to protect their so-called one Nigeria. A country that is built on the blood of the innocent. Today, even the terrorists themselves, today their brother is in power. Is he killing them the way you kill your own brother? Even when his own people knows that they are terrorists. The terrorists in the north are not hiding. Everybody knows it. The whole world knows about them. They kill their brothers and sisters in the north. The Fulani terrorists in the north are killing the Hausas. They are destroying the life of the Hausa people in the north. Everybody is seeing it. The Christians in the north are almost wiped away. But is Muhammad Buhari serious on attacking them? He is not attacking them. He's not taking their life. But if it were to be a Southerner that is in power, and something of such is happening in the South, God help you. If a Southerner is in power and something of such is happening, that is why you must not ask for him. You must not pray for any Igbo presidency. Look at what Hope Uzodinma is doing. Look at what Hope, among all the governors he have in Nigeria, among all the governors, it is only Hope Uzodinma that is using jets to bomb his own people. Is it only in Imo State that there are IPOB? It's not only Imo State. Is it only Imo State that there are Biafran? Not only Imo State. Biafrans are in 13 states. 13 states. Biafrans are in 13 states. But only Hope Uzodinma is the one using jets to bomb Biafran people. Only Hope Uzodinma is the one using jets to bomb Biafran people. But even in the north, where terrorists have taken over some states, where terrorists have control of half of the state, you have never seen any of the governors coming out to call jets to come and bomb them. Today, look at the destruction that's happening in Biafra land, sanctioned by Hope Uzodinma and his fellow politicians. Every politician in Biafra land is evil. I say every. No one is exempted. All the politicians in Biafra land, they are all evil. They are all evil. They are all evil. Going for their selfish interest, pursuing their selfish interest. All of them are interested in either governor or vice president or president or whatever. They are not even a targeting president. Their own desire is the vice president. They have already accepted their fate of being a second-class citizen in a country that they belong in, a country where the wealth of the country is coming from them. A country that they are the one holding. You see Biafran settling for second-class citizen. What a shame. What a shame. And instead of some of us to focus on that which is right, some of us are diverting our attention to other things. Some Biafrans who are supposed to be focusing on the enemy, the Fulani Caliphate, who have made themselves enemy. We didn't make them enemy. They made themselves enemy to the people. Not only to the Biafrans, to the little ones, to the Middle Beltans, to even the Hausans. They made themselves enemy. And we have to protect ourselves. We cannot fold our hands and watch ourselves being destroyed. Instead of some of us focusing on the enemy, they are focusing on their own brother. Focusing on their own brother. Some are focusing and some are even making sure that Mazi Nnamdi is not being released. Somebody who claimed to be a Biafran, working for the enemy. That is why we are here planning on how to make sure that Mazi Nnamdi is really released. Some people are busy doing something different. We are here promoting Mazi Nnamdi, making sure that Mazi Nnamdi is not relegated to the background. Making sure that Mazi Nnamdi remains the most relevant man in Biafra land. But some people are busy trying to remove Mazi Nnamdi from the picture. Some people are busy secretly trying to remove Mazi Nnamdi from the picture. They removed Mazi Nnamdi as the director of Radio Biafra. They are removing Mazi Nnamdi gradually, secretly, and they think they can succeed. There is no way you can succeed. The appointment of Mazi Nnamdi was not by man. When Mazi Nnamdi was given the mantle, it was not you and I that came and called him. It was Chukwuka that called him and gave him the mantle. And then he started working before we saw him and we all gathered together. You were not the one that made him who he is. So who are you to remove him as the director of Radio Biafra? Who are you? Who are you to remove Mazi Nnamdi? Mazi Nnamdi that the whole world knows today that he is the flag bearer of the Biafra. When you talk about the Biafran struggle today, as it stands today, Mazi Nnamdi is a force to reckon with. There's no place you mention Biafra without mentioning Mazi Nnamdi as it stands today. But you see some people working on the ground to remove Mazi Nnamdi from the picture. Working on the ground to remove something that Mazi Nnamdi established. Radio Biafra that Mazi Nnamdi established. Radio Biafra he established. Even when he was alone, when he had no followers, he built it. He was preaching on his own, alone, without anybody. He was doing it. Today, that foundation is what you want to remove him from. You want to relegate Mazi Nnamdi to the background because you think that he's not going to be released. Mazi Nnamdi is coming out sooner than you expect, and it's going to shock you. It's going to shock you. And for his personality and for his popularity, you can never ever match his popularity. It doesn't matter how you try. You can't match his popularity. You can't match it. I thank God there are still people who are standing firm to protect everything that Mazi Nnamdi can stand for. I thank God for our brother Simon Ekpa. You can hate him, you can like him. Simon Ekpa is standing firm, doing the needful, doing expositions that are unimaginable, standing against all the distraction, against all the attack from east, west, north, and south. Every day will they open up a new chapter, all against Simon. Why are you bent on destroying him? Every one of us have a responsibility to restore Biafra. Why don't you focus on restoration of Biafra? Why is it that some of you have made the destruction of Simon Ekpa as your own responsibility? You have made it your own struggle. Your own struggle has now become to distract Simon Ekpa or to call him names. Why don't you focus? Get focused. Focus on the struggle. Focus on your freedom. Focus on your freedom. The freedom of your born generation. It doesn't bother you anymore. Now you see people focusing on destroying their own brother. You spend the whole of your video, you come out in a video from morning till night, you'll be talking about your own brother. You preach and talk about it, you analyze your brother's video. You will cut out a section of video. Even the video you're analyzing, you can't even interpret it. Your brother will say something in a video that you and I will be watching, and you'll be saying something different. You will be preaching something different. The video, one of the videos they're using as a propaganda against Simon. The video was saying a different thing, and they are interpreting a different thing. When Master Simon Ekpa said that if you are being deceived, if somebody deceives you to tell you that fighting for Biafra is evil, or fighting for Biafra is a waste of time, that you are the most stupid person. He said that, and some people are misinterpreting it.
If you believe somebody tells you that fighting for Biafra is a waste of time, or fighting for Biafra is evil, or fighting for Biafra doesn't worth it, and you believe it, you are stupid. That is what my Samuel said. That word alone have explained it all. That word alone have explained his intention. But you want him to begin to attack somebody and fight like a woman. You want him to be gossiping like a woman. You just want him to gossip. Because he has refused to gossip like you will now begin to destroy the things that are on the ground. It is not going to work for you. Whoever you are, I don't know who you are. Whoever you think you are, it is better you focus. The earlier you begin to focus, the better. The earlier you begin to focus to the real thing, the better for us. We have a very big enemy, strong enemy. We have a very strong enemy against Biafra. Very rich, very connected, very populated. They have all the money. They have all the wealth. The Biafran people are up against the strongest nation in the world. Those are the people who are fighting. So, how can you leave the real enemy now, begin to focus, be a distraction? Why don't you channel your energy on that thing that Chukwu Okadiama have placed in your heart, that is troubling you, that you know that will bring Biafra? That thing that Chukwu Okadiama have placed in your heart, that you are deeply convinced that this thing will bring Biafra. Pursue it and follow it. Allow other people to pursue their own way and follow it. There are so many ways that is leading to a direction. So many ways. There are so many ways to go to Abuja. Assuming you are from Nigeria, you want to travel to Abuja from east to Abuja. There are so many roads that lead to Abuja. Why don't you follow the road that you feel is easy for you? Mazen Nnamdi said it. If you know what you will do to make Biafra come, go ahead and do it. So many of us have believed that releasing Mazen Nnamdi will be the automatic coming of Biafra. Releasing Mazen Nnamdi, making sure that Mazen Nnamdi is released, will make Biafra draw closer than it is to us. Some believe that it is not what is not. They are not about. They don't care about the reason of Mazen Nnamdi. They want to pursue the Biafra by itself. Go ahead. If you feel that is what work for you, go ahead. Pursue the coming of Biafra. Let the Biafra come. Anything you feel you can do, go ahead and do. But stop distracting those who are doing what they are doing. It's just like you see Biafrans embarking on sit at home. The massive civil disobedience that Biafrans are embarking in Biafra land. People are sitting at home against all odds, against all the attack, against all the distraction, against all the deception. Even when you share flyers, they share flyers and tell Biafrans not to sit at home. Biafrans are still sitting at home. Even when you push your propaganda using informants, arrest them and lock them up, Biafrans are sitting at home. The moment they sit at home is still on fire. You don't want to participate in it. Why don't you follow that direction you feel it is good for you? Why are you now distracting those who are doing what is working? Why are you preaching against those who are doing what is working? Even when you yourself, if you can tell yourself the truth, you know that the reason why the issue of Mazen Nnamdi still remain in the front burner is because of the sit at home. The sit at home. That is why everybody is still discussing about Mazen Nnamdi. Without that sit at home, they wanted to sweep under the carpet. And as they are in this electionary mode, electionary year, a year of election, you would have not heard anything about Mazen Nnamdi. But it's because of this sit at home. Sit at home has become a thorn on their flesh. They know fully well that as long as they continue to hold Mazen Nnamdi and we are sit at home, that election 2023 can never ever hold in Biafra land. It will not. They know it. And they are trying to pamper people, trying to deceive us. They came with a Igbo presidency. We said no, we are not part of it. At the end of the day, that drama that we are trying to play, it has unfolded. Everybody know that nobody talking about Igbo presidency is wasting his or her time. They came with a political solution. We knew that it was a lie. We told them, go ahead with your political solution. We will continue what we are doing. When we see your result, then we will decide whether we leave it or not. They saw that we are resolute, that we are doing what we want to do. They are confused. Today, they want to use force. They pump their soldiers, begin to destroy buildings, destroy highways, destroy properties, burn houses and burn properties and burn shops. They use all manner of force. They introduce their unknown gunmen to the life of people, arrest people. Yet, we stand strong and say, Mazen Nnamdi must be released. For those of you who feel you cannot fight along with us, why not allow us to continue to do what we want to do? Let those who want to fight continue to fight. I say it and I say it again. If your tank is empty, if your brain is empty, you have exhausted everything in your brain. We thank you for the effort that you have made in the past. Any effort, everybody have played a role in Biafran land. You must be remembered. You will be remembered. We are not chasing you away. We are born Biafran. We didn't make ourselves Biafran. Every single one of us, anybody living in the old southeastern region, the present south, and the southeast with lower Benin, we are all Biafrans. We didn't make ourselves Biafran. Chukwu Okike Abiyama place us there. And if you're a Biafran, you remain a Biafran. Nobody chasing you away. But if you don't have a contribution to make, you have played a role at one time or the other, give way and let other people continue. Our eternal leader, Dim Odumegwu, played a major role. He fought and fought gallantly until they said there was no victory, no vanquish. And there was a ceasefire. And he came back. He did not leave the struggle. The spirit of Biafra did not die in him. When you watch him speak, when he came out, the spirit of Biafra is still alive in him. At a point, Owazirike took up. Owazirike played his own role. He played his own role. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu joined him until when he saw that he couldn't be able to handle it. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, when his own time come, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu took over. We are in the era of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, in the era of IPOB. We are in the era when Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is the leader of the struggle, and you cannot change it. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu remains the leader of IPOB, the leader of the struggle. Not just IPOB, the leader of the struggle. When you talk about Biafran struggle, you cannot mention Biafran struggle anywhere without mentioning Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. And if you are trying to take him away from the picture, you are wasting your guidance time. You are an enemy. You are an enemy. You don't want Biafran to come. If you are making Mazi Nnamdi Kanu irrelevant by taking him away from the picture, you are making Biafran not to come. You are an enemy. And Biafran should fight against you. Biafrans will fight against you. Because Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is the most relevant man in Biafra land. And when you talk of Biafra, so every place you mention Biafra, you mention Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. He is the arrowhead. The arrowhead of struggle is Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Undoubtedly, unchallenged. It is not because out of pride. It is not out of pride and envy. It is because he worked for it. He proved it. He merited it. He worked for it. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu stood and fought. He worked for it. He gave every single thing he has for it. He gave his family. He gave his palace. He gave his parents. He gave out his own children, his own wife. He gave up. He gave up his own comfort. Today, he is in DSS because of Biafra. And he has still refused. He has refused to leave Biafra. He said it's either Biafra or death. And he didn't just say it. He is working towards that. He is working towards that on a daily basis. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is not changing his word. It is either Biafra or death. So what I'm saying is that any role you have to play your role. And when you feel that you have finished playing your role, give way and allow other people to continue the work. Give way. For those people who were in the leadership of IPOB, the leadership of the struggle, who were supposed to take over from Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, who were supposed to hold everything intact until Mazi Nnamdi comes out, we saw that they were weak. They were weak. Everything we are talking about them is not out of hate, it's out of love. Out of love. They were weak. They were not doing what they are supposed to do. Biafrans were angered. Biafrans were looking for a voice. Biafrans were looking for somebody to ginger them. And Chukwu Okike Abiyama provided our brother Simon Ekpa. He gave his voice. Our brother Simon Ekpa is an agitator like you and me. He's agitating like the way I'm agitating, the same way he's agitating. But he has a louder voice. Chukwu Okike gave him a broader platform, and he utilized it very well. He started speaking up, calling out things the way they are, bringing suggestions on the things that will be done. But out of envy and jealousy, some people have refused to do those things that he has been talking about, even when they know that those things he's talking about are genuine and they are working. They refuse to support it because of envy and jealousy. Out of envy and jealousy, they refuse to support something that is working. We are not hating them. At one point in time, they have played their own role. They have done what they're supposed to do. But when you feel that you are exhausted, you don't have anything in your brain anymore to offer. When your brain has been exhausted, you don't have anything in your brain anymore to offer. What you have to do is to give way. There are still many Biafrans. There are so many Biafrans whom their brain is still filled. Their tank is filled and overflowing. There are so many Biafrans that their tank is filled up and overflowing, and they want to give out what they have. Why don't you allow them to give out what they have? Why don't you make that way? Make a way for them. Let them give out and dish out information that they have in their head. Nobody knows it all. At every point in time, there will be a stage when somebody have to come in. At every point in time, Chukwu Okike Abịama will raise somebody. At every point in time, Chukwu Okike Abịama, being in charge of the struggle as it stands today, Chukwu Okike Abịama, who have placed himself in charge of the struggle today, can use anybody to take action. He can use anybody to work for the coming of Biafra. He can use anybody to free Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, including our enemy. He can use our enemy also. An enemy might be doing something, thinking that he's working against Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, not knowing that he's working for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. It has happened in so many cases. Some of us who are Christians, it happened in the Bible. Why Chukwu Okike Abịama used enemy to secure his children, used enemy to save his children. It has happened in so many places. In so many stories, you see Chukwu Okike Abịama using an enemy to save his own children. It can equally happen again today as you're watching this video. It can happen today. That is why every hand has to be on deck. Every hand. It is you and I that will free Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. No man born on. No man can. No other person that will free him from anywhere. Nobody from the United Nations, no international community, no lawyer, no judge will free Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. It is we, the ordinary people, that will free him. Ask me how? By civil disobedience. It is the civil disobedience that will trigger the thing that will release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. It will be triggered by civil disobedience. That's what will trigger it. And some of us are very forgetful. All this message we are saying, the Janjaweed have said it themselves. The imposter in Asorok have said it, that they are going to look at the mass action. That the actions and behavior of the masses is what is going to determine whether there will be a political solution or not. What does that mean? Mass action they are talking about is not the action of the Janjaweed. It is not the action of the Fulani. It is the action of the Biafran people. The way we react, we decide whether Mazi Nnamdi Kanu will have political solution or not. The Attorney General of the Federation, Malami said the same thing. Malami said that it is when they weigh the people's opinion, when they weigh the people's reaction, then they will now see if Mazi Nnamdi Kanu merits the political solution or not. And when they are weighing people's opinion or whatever, that opinion, who are going to drive the people that will drive the opinion that will bring that very reaction is Biafran people. It is Biafran people that will drive the opinion, just as we are doing today. You see them talking about, as they are talking about sit at home. Everybody in that country of Nigeria know that the reason why people are sitting at home is because of the arrest of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Everybody know. So the more you continue to push ahead on the civil disobedience, they know that the cause of the civil disobedience is because they are holding Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, and they will have no choice than to call us to the table and release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. That is why it is very important to embark on civil disobedience, and that is how we release him. If you think it is the lawyers alone, the lawyers will just go into the court and release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, you are wasting your time. If you think the lawyers are there, I'm not saying that the lawyers are working, they are doing what they're supposed to do. They are playing their own role. But if you think that it is the lawyer that will release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, you are a time waster. Because the lawyers don't have powers to release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Nigeria is a lawless country. Don't forget it. It's a lawless country. If the lawyers cannot be able, if the judge, not even the lawyer, even the judge cannot be able to make the Janjaweed government give Mazi Nnamdi Kanu 2 times visit, as he has said, 4 good times they denied Mazi Nnamdi Kanu visit. An instruction that a judge gave, they refused it. Common to allow Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to change clothes have become impossible. In their court, their judge said it, allow him to change clothes. Allow him to have his praying materials. They flouted it. If all those common things, all those minor things cannot be achieved through their judge, then you think that freedom of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu can come from the judge. Let me tell you, public opinion is what is going to free Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. And that public opinion will come from the action of the masses, action of Biafran people. When I talk about, I'm talking about the Biafran people and Biafran friends. Public opinion is what is going to free Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. That is why we have to drive the public opinion by ourselves. We have to drive it and make sure that it is positive to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. How are we going to do it? We are not doing it by carrying gun. We are not doing it by killing anybody. We are not doing it by open protest. We are achieving that public opinion by massive civil disobedience in Biafra land. Sit at home. When they say sit at home on Monday. Sit at home. On Sunday also, sit at home on Sunday. No movement, don't go anywhere. As long as you're in Biafra land, sit your butt at home. If anybody tells you that it's not working, nobody, if you listen to it, that means you are a fool. Because they have been denying it for a very long time. They have been denying it until our brother Kanayo came out and confessed to the whole world. Kanayo came and said that the only reason why the sit at home is happening is because of Martin Nagan. And he said that the sit at home is working. That if anybody is saying that sit at home is not working, and it's not real, the person is deceiving the imposter in Asarok. He told the imposter in Asarok that the only solution is that he should free Martin Nagan. That is the public opinion we are looking for. That is the public opinion we are looking for. The public opinion we are looking for. We got it. But it's not enough. We have to still hold it. Let more voice join. Let more voice be coming out and be speaking. We will not beg them. A time will come. We will not beg them. They will be forced to speak. If we are doing what we are supposed to do, they will be forced to speak. That is how we form the public opinion. That public opinion is what is going to free Martin Nagan. Is what is going to free Martin Nagan. If anybody is telling you, oh, go and sit down, do this, it's not going to free Martin Nagan. I'm not saying you should not protest. If you want to protest abroad, it's okay. If you want to organize a protest abroad, it's okay. But that one that we are doing in Biafra land has more effect. The one we are doing in Biafra land has more effect. And that is why we must all prepare to take it to the next level. Economic sanction. When we start this economic sanction effectively, this time around, they will not come and broker. All of them will be running to Abuja. They will be sleeping in Abuja. All of them will go to DSS and sleep with Mazen Kanu until he's been released. Economic sanction against them in Biafra land. Don't give your revenue to them. Whatever revenue, don't give to them. Stop paying your revenue. Any business you're doing in Biafra land, don't give them your money. Keep it yourself. Yes, Daniel, I say Sunday sit at home. Yes, that's what I said. I said Sunday sit at home. You heard me clear. Sunday sit at home. Initially, people were condemning it. They say it's a fight against Christianity. Some say it's a demonizing against. It is no fight against Christianity. We are sitting at home to redeem Christianity. Sit at home on Sunday is a redemption for Christianity, because the Christianity itself now is in the hand of the criminals. The Christianity itself is in the hand of the criminals. So we cannot stop it. We cannot stop Christianity. We cannot stop. We want to start the sit at home on Sunday. The sit at home on Sunday will help Christianity to be sanitized. Because there's no way you can justify that. The people who we are calling Christians, 90% of them, 90% of those who are attending all those churches with all those big pastors and all those GO, 90% of the members are Biafran people. 90% of the members are Biafran people. They are being mowed down, their business destroyed, their homes destroyed, their properties destroyed. They are being subjugated to a slave. Yet, you will stand in your pulpit, you will not talk about it. You will not talk about it. The only man that is speaking for them is being held captive. You are not talking about it. Then you still want us to come and sit down with you on Sunday. Talk about what? What are you talking? I thank God that now a pastor came out and said that since January, he has been observing the sit at home on Sunday. A pastor. Has he died? Is he not still having his ministry? His ministry is still booming. He's still having worship on other days. He's still fellowshipping with his members other days. But that Sunday, he has removed it to show that he is concerned about what is happening in Biafra land. And that is what every other person is supposed to do. That is what we are expecting every other person to do. We have to continue to fight for our freedom. We cannot relent. We cannot give up. No matter the arrow they bring, no matter the weapon they bring, any angle they are coming with him, and we will not allow them. They can't crush us. They cannot crush us. will we have our freedom? How are we going to have it? It is in your hand. It's in my hand. Your actions and your reactions is what is going to cause our freedom, either it will come or will not come. It is high time that Biafrans have to wake up. We have to start being proactive. Every single Biafran in Biafra land, you have to start being proactive. Let us stop being reactive. That reactive action is not working anymore. We have to start being proactive. Before something happens, let us take action. And if you are watching me from Biafra land, or you are there, you're watching, anybody that is watching, begin to contact your people in Biafra land and tell them about the 15th. From 15th onwards, it is not going to be business as usual. In case you have not had it. In case you have not had it, maybe you are just hearing it. From 15 onwards, it will never be business as usual anymore. From 15 going on, it will never be business as usual anymore. If you've not had it, you've had it now. Biafrans have decided that we do not want to see any military man in our street anymore. We do not want to see any military man in our villages again. We do not want to see any military operation in anywhere in Biafra land. We don't want it anymore. Biafrans have decreed, we don't want it. Every military should go back to their barracks, wherever their barracks is. Any place they have their barracks, they should go back there and stay. We don't want to see them conducting any operation in Biafra anymore. As from 15 onwards, if they're there, of course they will never listen. We know they will never listen, but they're going to pay. They are going to pay dearly. They are going to pay dearly. Watch and see. Watch and see. For those of you who have brothers as politicians, you have a brother who is a politician, or you have a brother who is a lawmaker, you have a brother who is a governor, you have an in-law, you are connected to them, you better run and tell them. Tell them what is about to happen. Tell them to take away the military that they have placed in Biafra land, or else, whatever they see, they take. As from 15 ongoing, any military man we see in the street of Biafra, he will go and complain to God. He will go and tell God why he is in the street of Biafra. Any terrorist military with uniform we see in the street of Biafra, in our homes, in our villages, he will go to God and tell God what he's doing in Biafra land. They should go back to their barrack. And it is not a threat. I know they will not listen. As usual, they never listen. We are dealing with a stubborn generation. We are dealing with very stubborn people, very wicked, stubborn people that the only language they understand is language of force. And we are going to give them force. We will force them out of Biafra land. From 15 onwards, it is not going to be business as usual. And if you're in Biafra land, I pray that Chukwu Okikaben will protect you and secure you. Brace yourself for what is about to happen. Brace yourself up. Since they have said that we will not know peace, since the politicians have said we will start from the politicians themselves. Every single none of them is exempted though. None of them is exempted because they are dissenting. None of them, not even one. None of them. Before I used to count some of them out. None of them is exempted. Today, none of them is exempted. Before I used to count some of them out. But today, as things stand, every single one of them is involved. Every single one of them, they are involved. If they are not involved, how many of them have come out to condemn what is happening in Biafra land? How many of them have come out to condemn the burning of houses, the destruction of houses, the destruction of properties that's happening in Biafra land? That is still happening even as you're watching the video. The military are still going about destroying houses, destroying homes in Biafra land. How many of them have condemned it? How many? Which one of them have come out to condemn the evil? None of them. None of them have come to condemn it. None of them, not even a single one, have come to condemn it. And you think it's okay. It is not right, and we cannot allow that to continue. We cannot allow that to continue. Since they have now joined hands with the caliphate to destroy the Biafran people because of their selfish interest, since they decided to continue to grow their wealth on our blood, we said enough is enough. Enough is enough. We want to take our freedom by ourselves. Biafran people have risen, and we are going to take our freedom. It doesn't matter how they try. It doesn't matter the attack they bring. It doesn't matter where they're coming from. We will take our freedom. By all means possible, we will take it. And we'll protect ourselves. We have cried enough. We have shouted enough. And they pretend as if they are not hearing us. We cried and we shouted. They pretend as if they're not hearing us. We cannot continue to cry and shout and watch our brothers and sisters die. No. We cannot continue to cry and watch our properties destroyed. We cannot continue to fold our hands and watch ourselves being destroyed by the enemy. We can't. It is time for us to fight for that which is right. Of course, Sunday sit at home is compulsory. So Sunday sit at home is one of the most important things that we must have to embark in. The Sunday sit at home. The Friday already is against the government. But the government of the church, which we know very well that Biafran people, one of the things that is holding Biafran people down is the church. One of the things that is holding Biafran that have voice, one of the things that have voice is the church. Since they have refused to speak, we will force them to speak by sitting at home on Sunday. It is not attack against God. It is not attack against Chukwu Abiyama. It is the redemption of that Christianity. We want to redeem that Christianity. We want to redeem them. Let them stop focusing on deception. Let them stop focusing on deception and preach the right message. That is why we have to embark on that Sunday sit at home. If they don't want it, they should stand on their pulpit and demand that Mazen Nnamdi be released the same way Mbaka is doing. Mbaka is the only man that have been preaching all this while. Mbaka will stand on his pulpit. He has a very large followers and many people listen for him. Even the international community listen to him. Mbaka is the only man that stands boldly on his pulpit and call for the release of Mazen Nnamdi and Father Bubemonso. These are the only two people that have stood on their platform. They have a huge follower and a big platform. They call it. What is happening to other people, other GOs, including those of our GOs who are from Ududua land? If you talk of winners, 80% or, okay, let me say 70% of the members of winners are Biafra. 70% of members of winners are Biafra. So why is Oyedepo not talking about it? Why is Oyedepo not talking about the death that is happening in Biafra land? Why is Oyedepo not talking about the death and the killing, the destruction, and the arrest of innocent man? Why is Oyedepo not talking about it? Why is he not talking about? Are you talking about Redeem? You talk about Redeem. 70% of the members of Redeem are Biafran people. Why is it that that their leader is not talking about Biafran people? Why is he not complaining about that issue? Why is he not speaking about the death rate in Biafra land, the destruction of properties, destruction of homes? So many of the other churches that have that big platform, how many of them is speaking about the plight of the people? They are only concentrating on things irrelevant that does not matter. When Christ was in the world, Christ himself that they are representing, Christ fought for the innocent. Christ fought for the ordinary people. Christ was there for the ordinary people at all times, up to the extent of feeding them. He fed the hungry. But today, what do you see? They extort the hungry. Somebody who is hungry, you go there, they will extort more money from you. And that is why we must have to stand up and speak up. Sit at home on Sunday is a mandatory thing. We have to, this is the time to activate it. Everything that we are doing now, we have to raise it to highest level. If anybody is telling you to calm down, that person is a deceiver. He's deceiving you. Calming down cannot bring anything good. The only thing that can make Mazen Nnamdi be released and give us our freedom is when we raise the bar high. Raise the bar high. Let them know that it is costly. Let them know that it is costly to hold Mazen Nnamdi in captivity. Let us make them see the detention of Mazen Nnamdi as very, very expensive in all ramifications. We have to make them feel it. Mazen Nnamdi gave us instruction. Don't remember. Remember, Mazen Nnamdi gave us instruction. Any day we look for him, we do not see him, we should burn down the zoo. When Mazen Nnamdi say burn down the zoo, Mazen Nnamdi speaks in parable. Mazen Nnamdi speaks in parable. When he say burn down the zoo, he doesn't mean carrying gun to go and shoot people. Burning down the zoo doesn't mean carrying gun to go and shoot people. Carrying gun to go and... There are so many ways you can burn down the zoo. There are so many ways we can burn down the zoo. The economy that is holding the zoo, the economy that is making the zoo proud, the economy that is making the international community come to the zoo, they are in Biafra land. If we can be able to seize those economy, make sure that we halt production in Biafra land, Nigeria will crash. Nigeria will be burning. It will burn down. It will burn down. This is the instruction Nnamdi gave us. But today, people who are supposed to push the program, they are not pushing it. And when our brother Simon Ekpa speak about it, they begin to attack him. They bring propaganda simply because they are not the ones, simply because their brain is empty. Then somebody whose brain is still full is releasing information. Instead of you to cash in that information, he is not fighting for leader. He is not fighting for leadership. Simon Ekpa is not the leader of Biafran struggle. He is not. The leader of Biafran struggle is Nnamdi Kanu. Simon Ekpa is just a broadcaster, just like me as I'm broadcasting, and every other person is broadcasting. He only managed to have extra mile by having extra thinking, critical thinking. Having larger followers because he has critical thinking. He is saying things the way they are. That is what made him different. He is not the leader of Biafran struggle. Chukwu Okoke Abiama raised him, and he's doing well on his own part. Standing with Nnamdi Kanu, disciple of Nnamdi Kanu, following and supporting everything that Nnamdi Kanu represents and stand for. That is why I love him. That is why I stand along with him. I stand with Nnamdi Kanu 101%. Every legacy that Nnamdi Kanu have left behind, I will follow to protect it and protect it until thy kingdom come. That is what every Biafran is supposed to do. Nnamdi Kanu gave us the ESN to protect us. And as you know, ESN is preparing to go into a very tough phase. We are going to a very tough phase. It is the responsibility of you and I to encourage them. It is the responsibility of every Biafran to pray for ESN. If you can pray, pray. Any way you can support them, support ESN through the Umweri account. On the 12th, fundraising is going to be conducted. On the 12th, connect with the fundraising. Any amount, no matter how little, $1, $2, $3, $1 million, anyone you have, contribute to Umweri account. When you are paying to Umweri account, you are paying to your unborn generation. You are giving to your unborn generation. You are not giving to anybody. You are paying to Umweri account. You are not paying to someone Ekpa or Nelly or whatever. You are not paying to anybody. Any money you deposit to Umweri account, you are depositing that money. You are not even paying to Nnamdi Kanu. You are not paying to Nnamdi Kanu. Nnamdi Kanu, you see, he doesn't have his own personal account. He doesn't have a car. He's not fighting anything for himself. He is fighting for Biafra. If you are donating anything to Umweri account was introduced by Nnamdi Kanu. He was the one that brought Umweri account and said, every money that belongs to IPOB, send it to Umweri account. But of course, people who claim to know better than him refuse to do so. People who claim to know better than Nnamdi Kanu refuse to send all the money to Umweri account. But those of us who are standing with Nnamdi Kanu, who believe everything he says, we are still holding on to that very account he gave us, Umweri account. And we are going to put every money there. And the people who are in charge are accountable. They are accountable. Until the day we will see otherwise. If we see a foul play, we will still come and blow the whistle. But today, the most important thing is that the ESN is no longer complaining. They are no longer complaining. Because every fund that is played in the Umweri account is getting to them. They have everything they need. But we must have to support them because they are going into a more difficult phase. As they prepare to go into a more difficult phase, every Biafran, wherever you are, prepare yourself to support Umweri account. On the 12th, any place you are, key in on the 12th. If I have time, I'm going to broadcast his live. Master Simon Ekpa, most of you know his channel. Join Master Simon Ekpa. He will broadcast his live. He will broadcast it live. The fundraising will be done live on Zoom. Join the Zoom and support with your little quota. No matter how little. Drops of water can make a river, can make an ocean. Drops of water can make an ocean. If every Biafran, 70 million Biafrans, if you drop $1, is that not $70 million? If every Biafran, 70 million population, will drop $1, is $70 million. So don't say your money is too small. Any amount you drop at Umweri account is welcome. The most important thing that the account is in the right hand. And the account is the account that Mazen Nnamdi himself gave us. He has not changed it. Mazen Nnamdi has not changed it. And it is even the leadership of IPOB that announced it. They were the one that announced that Umwede account. They were the one that announced it. But at the end of the day, they decided to chicken out and begin to do a different thing altogether because of their selfish interest, because of their own agenda. But we cannot be shaken. It doesn't matter how they try. Our only goal is freedom. Any place you are, the main thing that have to bother you, the one thing you have to consider is the freedom. What concerns you and I, our collective interest is freedom. That is where every one of us meets. Freedom. That is where every single one of us meets, and we will continue to pursue our freedom. No matter what anybody does. You might not like me. I say it all the time. It's not compulsory that you must like me. It's not compulsory that you must agree with everything that I do or I say. It's not compulsory. But the only place where every one of us meets is what? Freedom. We need freedom. Including our Oduduwa brothers, not only in Biafran. Our Oduduwa brothers, they want freedom also. You can see them fighting on. Now, Sunday Igboho is out, and the struggle continues. Sunday Igboho is out. The struggle continues. And very soon, Mazen Nnamdi will be out also. The common destination of every one of us, the Biafran people, the Oduduwa people, the Middle Belt, and even the Hausas, the destination of everybody is what? Freedom. That is why you have to speak up. Injustice against one is injustice against all. Do not wait until it happens to you directly. Now I'm speaking to other people who are not Biafrans. Biafran friends, if you are genuinely an activist, and you are looking for justice, it is high time you use your platform and speak and demand for the release of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. If you are sincerely an activist in that contract called Nigeria, you are genuinely looking for freedom, you are a freedom fighter, and genuinely you know what freedom is, it is high time everybody add their voice, use their platform, and demand for the release of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. Because they have not committed any crime. He has not committed any crime known to law. No. He has not committed any crime. His arrest was just out of hate, wickedness. Out of hate and wickedness. Go and see all the propaganda they are bringing against him. They are all propaganda, trash. There is no case against him. Somebody who was kidnapped against international law, rendition to Nigeria, and nobody is talking. You call yourself an activist and you are not speaking about it. You are waiting until it happens to your own person. Oh, it doesn't concern me. After all, he's a Biafran. You are waiting until it happens to you. Any place you are watching this video, no matter your country, no matter, demand for the release of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. No matter your religion, no matter your country, no matter your location, use your platform and demand for the release of the innocent man that was kidnapped in Kenya, Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. He is very, very innocent. Demand for his release. I know he's going to be released. He will be released. It doesn't matter what the enemy does. It doesn't matter what people do. Even if Biafra people refuse to do the needful, will you use a janjaweed to release him? When I say it, people think it's a joke. When God wants to do his miracle, he doesn't care. He doesn't look at you. He doesn't look at face. When Chukwu Okeke wants to do something, he doesn't care. He can use anybody to do what he wants to do. Or every one of us are instruments in the hand of Chukwu Okeke, including our enemies. They are all instruments in the hand of Chukwu Okeke, and he can use them and bend them according to his own will. He can use them anytime he wants to. That is why I am not moved. Anything that is happening today is the will of Chukwu Okeke. And if the Janjaweed knew what they know today, they would have not kidnapped Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. Because they are seeing the light of Biafra coming with speed. They are seeing the light of Biafra coming with speed. They are seeing it. They are seeing it and they can't deny it. They can't deny it. They can't control it. That is why you see what they are doing. They are catching on every place they see, just catching cobwebs, dragging on any angle they see, trying to take as many lives as they can, trying to steal the Janjaweed contaminated country dry. That is why you see the rate of stealing that is happening in that caliphate, the rate of stealing that is happening in that company called Nigeria, the rate of stealing. This is a man who said he was coming to fight corruption. The late Buhari said he was coming to fight corruption. After he has stolen a lot, he died. The imposter in Asorok is still stealing on his name. Somebody who said he was coming to fight, they have stolen every garden thing. The worst is that they even borrow. After they borrow, they steal. Recently, you heard that he donated $1 million to a terrorist group. $1 million to Afghanistan, that we know that is a terrorist country. This is somebody whom his country is borrowing money. His country is borrowing every day, borrowing every day. Borrowing every day. ASU strike have started. Hunger in the town. So many complaints, lack of money. But that same place, their president took $1 million and gave to a terrorist organization, Afghanistan. And they were attacking him. That tells you that you are not part of the Janjaweed and you are not supposed to be there. We have to go home. And the time is now. Any place you are, prepare yourself. We are going home. They can't stop us. They can't stop us. They can't. Prepare yourself for the massive civil disobedience. Sit at home on Sunday. Sit at home on Monday. Sit at home on Sunday. Sit at home on Monday. And the economic sanction. If you are living in Biafra land, stop paying your revenue to local government. Don't pay your revenue to state government. Stop paying your revenue to federal government. In Biafra land, don't do it. Keep the money to yourself. It will be useful in time to come. And if you are a revenue collector in Biafra land, go and look for another job. If you have a revenue collector as your brother, your sister, your uncle, your father, your mother, tell them to go and look for another job because the Biafran people will come after them. We warned beforehand. We warned before it happened. Some people will be stubborn, they will not listen. If you have anybody that is a revenue collector, you are connected to them, better reach out to them, tell them to go and look for another job because the Biafran people are coming for them. Biafran people are coming for them. All the market leaders in Biafra land, all the market leaders, stop paying the revenue. Owe them. Start by owing them. From owing them, take away that revenue from them. The revenue you are giving them is what they are using to sponsor your debt, sponsor your killing. It is that revenue that Hope Uzodinma is using to buy armored car, buy bullet for the invaders. It is that revenue that Hope Uzodinma is using to brag around and give them tips to come and kill his people. We have to take it back. Take back our life. We have to take it back. It's a matter of life and death. Biafrans, we must see Biafra. We will not only see it, we will walk into Biafra with our foot and we'll raise the flag very soon. We are heading to raise the flag of Biafra, and no man born of a woman can stop us from raising that flag. We will definitely raise the flag of Biafra, whether they like it or not. And very soon, we will raise it. Mazen Nnamdi Kanu have fought a good fight. He has fought a good fight. Today, it's left for you and I to build on that foundation that he has led. If any one of you is still there folding hand and waiting for Mazen Nnamdi Kanu to come and fight for him from DSS, you are a wicked man. If you're waiting for Mazen Nnamdi Kanu to give you order from DSS, you're a wicked man. Mazen Nnamdi Kanu have fought for you while he has his freedom. He used his freedom to fight for you. He fought for you. He stood for you. He taught you. He taught you lessons for more than a decade. He was teaching you. And today, he's in the hand of the enemy. You don't know what to do. You are still waiting for him to come and save you. You are still waiting for Mazen Nnamdi Kanu to come and save you. You are a wicked soul. If you're one of those people, you are a wicked soul. Today, as he stands, it is your responsibility. It is my responsibility to free Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. And we will free him through civil disobedience. That is why every hand has to be on deck. Everybody has to be engaged on civil disobedience to free Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. It is our responsibility. We cannot take command from him from the DSS. We cannot wait for any second-hand information from DSS. We will take action by ourselves. And whatever we do going on, Mazen Nnamdi Kanu will not be held responsible because he is not the one telling us what to do. Nobody's going to charge him for anything that we have done now in the court. Nobody's going to present it before him. Nobody's going to hold him responsible for any action we're going to take. It is the Biafran people that are taking action by themselves to free Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. And it is the right thing to do. That is why we are doing it. It is our responsibility to free Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. Biafran people, we will take action to free Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. Is the responsibility of every single Biafran man and woman. If you are one of those who is waiting for his order from DSS, you are a wicked person. You don't know what you are doing. That means the message that Mazen Nnamdi Kanu has preached for more than a decade, you didn't understand anything. You have not learned anything. So what you have to do is to go back and begin to listen to the message of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. Go back. Go back and check his broadcast. His broadcast, you will learn a lesson. Every single broadcast that Mazen Nnamdi Kanu have made has a strong lesson buried in it. Every single broadcast that Mazi Nnamdi have made in the past have a great lesson buried in it. Go and begin to look for it. Look for the messages of Mazi Nnamdi. You will learn a new lesson. You will know where we are and what we are supposed to do. You won't be waiting for him anymore. You will not be waiting for him because he has played his role. He has given us everything that we need to know. He has spoken widely. He has preached. He has cried. He has sacrificed. Every single thing he has to do, he has done it. Now is our turn to do for him. Why is it too much to ask? Now that it is the time for us to free Mazi Nnamdi, why is it too much for us to do something for him? Somebody who have done everything, sacrificed everything sacrificable. Why is it too much for you? When we say sit at home, you say it is too much. Economic sanction, you say it's too much. Everything you have been told, you complain. Freedom doesn't come cheap. Freedom has a price, and be ready to pay the price. From 15 onwards, it is not going to be the same anymore in Biafra land. May Chukwu Okike Abiama guide and protect every single person who have been in this video. Every single person who have shared this video. If you have shared this video, Chukwu Okike Abiama will continue to protect you. Anybody that have shared this video in their platform, in their WhatsApp group, in their Facebook, any place you have shared this video, you will see the end of 2022. 2022 will never see your end. Every hand that will pass this information across, share this video. Every hand that will share the video and pass this information across, you will walk into Biafra land with your food and celebrate in Biafra land. You will raise flag with our Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. May Chukwu Okike Abiama guide and protect every single person that is fighting for justice on the planet Earth. May Chukwu Okike Abiama guide and protect every Oduduwa person, every Middle Beltan, every indigenous person in the contraption called Nigeria that is genuinely fighting for freedom. May Chukwu Okike Abiama guide and protect every Oduduwa person, wherever it may be. May Chukwu Okike Abiama continue to strengthen Sunday Igboho, continue to strengthen Sunday Igboho, give him more knowledge, give him more wisdom, strengthen him so that he will continue in the battle. May Chukwu Okike Abiama continue to guide and protect our Supreme Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Secure our Supreme Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. May Chukwu Okike Abiama send doctors from above, send doctors to minister to him. Every poison that he has eaten in the DSS, every poison that has been injected into his body, let Chukwu Okike Abiama send doctors to remove that from his body spiritually. No weapon formed or fashioned against Mazi Nnamdi Kanu shall prosper. No matter how they try, they can't break him. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu will join us very, very soon. I can see him coming. For those of us who are very connected to him, for those of us who are connected to him in spirit, for those of us who have the blood of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu flowing in our vein, we see him coming home. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu homecoming is very soon. We will celebrate, just like our Oduduwa brothers are celebrating Igboho, very, very soon. We will celebrate Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, and he will join us again. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu remains the leader of the struggle, the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, the supreme leader of IPOB. Nobody can change it. It doesn't matter how you try, you cannot succeed. Chukwu Okike Abiama made him who he is, and he will remain that. No man born of a woman can take him out. Thank you so much for watching wherever you are watching from. I appreciate you for your support. I appreciate you for joining me from the beginning of this broadcast out to this time. I will see you again by the special grace of God. Thank you so much, and remember, see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.